And we are back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnon. If it's Friday morning, your business matters. Ben McDonald is here with us. He is the owner of Skyward Ventures. Ben, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you doing this for us.
Absolutely.
I don't know how to introduce our next guest. I just, because all I do is smell all of this delicious stuff that's going on. So let me describe to you how we met. I don't know if you know this, but Lake Norman has an orchestra. And so I went to, because WSIC was one of the sponsors of the orchestra, and I'm a sucker for a silent auction.
Right.
And there was a bakery or a baker, I should say, that was offering a 3-layer, 3-tier cake on the silent auction. And I kept bidding on it because I was not you understand? I'm not going to lose. You understand that?
There's a little competition to that.
Yeah, that's right. I don't care what it cost. It was a cake, and I was going to win it. And my wife said, it's a 3-layer cake. When in the world are we going to need? That's not the point. The point is it's a cake.
And you're going to win it.
That's right, and I'm going to win it. So I won that silent auction,
Yep.
right? And so we contacted Keli, and she made us a beautiful cake for Christmas Eve. And she actually did it, even though she has not officially opened her business yet. Am I correct, Keli?
That is correct.
Yeah. So that's what kind of person she is, right?
Right.
You also can tell what kind of person she is because she has a whole bunch of stuff here in front of us that I'm going to make her describe in a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're right. She did bring a lot. So if it goes quiet for a few seconds, it's just because Joe and I are mesmerized by the food, but we'll try and stay focused.
So Keli Marks is here with Bakery 28 of Lake Norman. And have you officially opened yet?
We are still in the process of the build out, but we will be open the first week of March.
And where will that be?
So it's in Cornelius on Catawba. And if you're familiar with the area, was the old Maddie's Fatties location. So
Yes.
It was another bakery beforehand a couple years ago.
Yeah, so I assume
Yeah.
it doesn't need a lot of renovation, does it?
Just some new paint, a couple changes, and another showcase, and I'm ready to move in.
Right. So, I ask this question of people all the time, and I'm not sure that normally I think I know the answer. This time I'm not sure I know the answer, right? Did you just wake up on a Tuesday and decide I'm going to be a baker, or is this something you've been wanting to do half your life? Walk me through that.
Yeah. So it's so my grandmother on my dad's side. Her name was Grandma Nini, and she was this
Grandma Nini.
Grandma Nini. And she was 4'10", strawberry blonde, little firecracker. And she was the best cook ever, but she never used recipes. And so I was always mesmerized by how she could just a little this, a little that, and make something magical. And so that stuck with me. And then my grandfather on my mom's side did baking for fun. And so he would make the most elaborate cakes. And I remember one time we were making donuts in the kitchen, and he had me, he would make the donut, and then he'd hand it to me, and I would dip it in the glaze and then put it in the sprinkles. And for me, that was just like, that opened a world for me. And so I've always been baking my whole life and cooking, and so it's truly a passion of mine. Yeah.
Well, my background's food service, and there is a clear difference between baking and cooking, right?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
So I have such an admiration for somebody that can do what you do, because I know how hard it is, and I know that recipes do matter and what it is
Yes,
you're
they
doing.
do. Yes, they do. Yeah.
So what is your background? Give us a little bit of your background.
Okay, so my background is I am a graduate of the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. And I have worked for some of the greatest French pastry chefs here in the United States. I'm very fortunate to say I've worked under 3 MOFs, which is the Milieu Ouvrier de France. It's like
Whoa, say that again.
the Milieu Ouvrier de France, and they are like the creme de la creme of pastry chefs from France.
Ben, did you even remotely know that?
I have never heard of them before. No. I picked up Ouvre de France, so
Yeah.
so
But you would-
back to the high school days of studying French.
You would recognize it because they're the French chefs that wear the red, white, and blue stripes around their chef jacket collar. So, yeah, so they are superior in the industry. So I've worked under 3 of them. I worked at the Bellagio Hotel, opened the Paris Hotel. I worked in New York at Paillard Patisserie and Bistro, which was very, very famous. I even had my own bakery in downtown Chicago. I had 2 locations and did custom cakes and catering and retail, wholesale, that whole bit. So I sold those companies in 2011 and made a new life here in North Carolina.
Why did you move to this area?
Just for a fresh start, wanted something different.
Really?
Yeah.
I think North Carolina's a spot to be in.
I had come out to help another chef friend of mine, and he was, I guess, competing for his master's degree or his certificate for being a master cake designer. So I assisted him in that. I'd never been to Charlotte, and we were uptown, and I extended my stay for 5 days, and that 5 days, I fell in love with the city. And it was the first time, and I've moved like 16 different times. It was the first time I felt this was home.
Wow.
So 6 months later, I turned around and moved here. Yeah, and so I lived in Ballantyne for a couple years and was the executive pastry chef at the Ballantyne Hotel. And then shortly after, I met my husband, Tony, and we bought a house in Lake Norman.
We use him to deliver and that sort of stuff is what it looks like.
Oh, yes. He's a great help with the bakery. Yeah. Yeah, so and then we moved to Lake Norman and have a house there. And so I've been saying ever since I sold my bakery, this is something I really want to do. It moves me. I'm very passionate.
So because I know a little something about the business, this is a really hard business because you take a raw product and then you've got to sell it at a retail level and it is perishable. If you do not sell, if somebody doesn't want it in a certain period of time, you got to throw it away and start all over again.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do. It's a very challenging business.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that, sort of the challenges of operating a bakery?
Oh my gosh. How much time do I have? Oh gosh, from, hiring the talent to come work, having people
Okay,
sell.
tell us the truth. Are you hard to work for?
No, I think I'm a great manager.
Okay.
I like
okay.
to pull out the best in all my employees.
Okay.
And I see everybody's potential. So I like to tap into that because I think if you can make the employee see their potential and feel their greatness, and then they will perform for you. And so I'm constantly trying to help people up their game and stay at that high level. Another thing is trying to find somebody to work in the front that has as much passion about the product as I do.
And know it.
Because
if I walked in and saw this stuff, I mean, I would have 7, 8 questions.
Right. And you have to be able to answer that. Excuse me. And not everybody is familiar with like a dacquoise or a Paris-Brest or, even the term petit four, which is basically just a small piece of pastry, something sweet. Doesn't necessarily have to be that petit four that we're all used to seeing that's iced and it has
Right.
like different layers. That's one type, but petit fours mean pretty little, I call them like little jewels. And which I will have in my showcase on a daily basis because basically everything at the bakery is going to be everything that I love. And I'm sharing it with everyone who comes in.
So now I know your husband's over here, so don't think this is some kind of pickup line, but that would be my nickname for you, would be Petit Four, because I see you just like that. You're going to be Petit Four for the Cornelius area.
Oh,
So
thank
let's take
you.
a break. When we come back, I want you to describe what it is you brought for us today.
Absolutely.
Because I want people to at least get some small idea of what I'm looking at here.
Right. Okay.
Your husband's ready to swing at me. That was not a pickup line. And we are back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and we have the delicious, delectable, delightful Petit Four of Exit 28. I'm going to give you that nickname whether you want it or not.
I love it.
So before I have you describe all of these delicious treats that you brought, if somebody wanted to reach you because you're not open yet, how can they do that?
Right. So eventually we'll have our website at bakery28.com. That's being worked on right now, but they can contact me now at bakery28_LKN on Instagram and also bakery28 on Facebook.
Okay, good. Okay, so why don't you describe some of these things that you have in front of you? And if you can, hold them for the camera. If not, then people are just going to miss out, Ben, aren't they?
Yeah, they will. But I think we'll be able to get a few of them up.
Okay, so you pick which one. Pick the one that I think is the cutest.
Okay, so you've been having your eye on this one.
Oh, I can't wait to eat that. Oh, that's going to be delicious with a cup of black powder coffee.
There you go. So this is our chocolate mousse. So this composition, for the listeners, it's in a clear small little individual dish that on the bottom has a cloud of fresh, sweet chantilly cream and a quenelle of the chocolate mousse on top of that with a crisp meringue and then a little bit of gold pearls at the very top.
So she's not describing a dessert. She's just describing art at this point, right? It is just a different level.
Whoa. What is the white thing that looks like feathers and that's going to fly away?
So these are the meringue prints. So it's a crisp meringue that I dried in the oven, and then I took gold dust and did a swoop across the top of them.
Gold dust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only the best for you.
Okay. And what was what Nakia was over here eating and kind of giving me the na look that she knows I can't eat right now?
These little delights. This is a classic Petit Four sec from France, and it's called a craquot. And I just call them just flat out crack because these are.
Well, that explains why Nakia was moving on.
They are so addictive and so delicious. It's a light, crispy chocolate cookie, and then inside it has toasted hazelnuts, pistachios, and almonds.
Nakia, was it good? Tell the truth. Yeah.
It's my favorite cookie, and it does go really well with coffee.
Yeah.
And
okay,
then,
what else you got over there?
Okay, so then this treat right here, the French macaroons, which is going to be one of our big menu items. Right now I've created about 50 different flavors, and we'll have about 20 on hand at all times. So this is the s'mores French macaroon. So it's a chocolate flavored cookie, and in the middle it has a marshmallow buttercream, it has a graham cracker buttercream, and just a dot of fudge ganache.
You know, Healthy Ben's been eyeing that one. I could tell he's been eyeing that one.
Hey, this one's gluten-free, so...
Whoa, that's perfect for you, Ben.
That's my excuse as to why I can have it.
Yeah, and then, so another big feature of ours is that custom cakes and case
Which
cakes.
you do a beautiful job of. Just absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
I urge everybody to go to your Facebook, and they can see all of the different types and styles of cakes that you have. It is phenomenal.
Oh, yes. We do everything from sculpted cakes to being adorned with like sugar high heels, and I mean, you name. I've done every kind of cake from a baseball field to a baseball glove, purses, wedding cakes. I mean, it's endless. So I'm making these available on a daily basis. Maybe not as sculpted, but just as beautiful, and the attention to detail and flavor is just amazing. I have a very extensive menu, and the one I brought today is called Blush Velvet. It's the little sister.
Blush Velvet.
Yeah.
Do you come up with these names?
You
just make these
artwork.
names up.
Of course. But this is Red Velvet's little sister. So it is a pink berry cake and layered with a sweet cream cheese frosting, and another layer has strawberry jam, strawberry diplomat cream, and fresh strawberries. You can't go wrong with this one.
Ben, that could be healthy for you.
It's got strawberries on it,
That's
so
right.
again, that's my excuse for that one. I just need to find a different excuse for each one.
Absolutely. So, and another fun one, like you can't have a bakery without having a pound cake.
Would you believe that's actually one of my favorite cakes?
Oh,
I know it's
really?
simple, but it just is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes simplicity is just absolute perfection.
I think it's all the butter, but okay.
So what's so special about this is even the most simple items that I'll have in my showcases, they are going to be just amazing, packed full of flavor, done really well. And this one, the pound cake, it's super light. So you're not going to feel guilty when you eat it. And it goes well with black smoke coffee.
Great. Thank you so much. I really do. I'm on your website right now. I'm trying to click on this so that people know that they can visit you.
Thank you.
This is just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
One last question. What is the advice you want to give somebody that is considering starting a small business right now? Because you really are right in the heat of a lot of challenging choices and decisions. What advice would you give them?
To have a plan and to follow your passion. Love what you do.
Great. You certainly live that. That's for sure.
I do every day.